Hey guys, welcome to this podcast today. I am so excited because I will be providing general questions and answers for everyone who are studying for their DMV driver's examination. So, this podcast, you'll have a complete study guide for beginner drivers who are seeking to pass that exam. I will cover all the essential questions and answers that you need to know to ace your exam. This, however, is going to be part one, which is composed of 50 questions so far. Part two will be released like shortly after, so that's why you need to hit that notification bell. So whenever it comes out, you be the first one to get that notification. So, guys, whether you're preparing for your permit or license test, I got you covered with this study guide. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel for more driving tutorials and study guides that will help you succeed as a driver. Make sure you leave below a comment if you find this podcast helpful, if you like it, if you want more of these, what do you want to see in future podcasts. All your feedback is very appreciated. Again, hit that notification bell because new upcoming videos are coming. And thank you so much. Make sure that you guys listen carefully so you don't miss out on anything and pay attention. Without saying no more, let's get started right away with the study guide. What documents do you need to bring to the DMV to apply for a driver's license? You typically need to bring proof of identity, residency, social security number, as well as any required documentation related to your legal status in the country. What are the basic rules of the road that you should know? Some basic rules of the road include following speed limits, obeying traffic signals and signs, yielding to pedestrians, keeping a safe distance from other vehicles. How do you properly adjust your mirrors before driving? You should adjust your mirrors so that you have a clear view of the road behind you without any blind spots. You can adjust them by sitting in the driver's seat and using the adjusters to make sure you can see the entire back window and a small part of the sides. Guys, I have videos that you can see in my channel how to adjust the mirrors, and I'm giving you examples in the video. It's a tutorial, so make sure you check that out. Next question. What should you do if you're driving and it starts to rain heavily? You should slow down, turn on your windshield, wipers, and headlights, and keep a safe distance from other vehicles. Avoid sudden braking and sharp turns, and be extra cautious of slippery and road surfaces. What is the meaning of a yellow traffic signal? So a yellow traffic signal indicates that the signal is about to turn red and that you should slow down and prepare to stop if you're able to do so safely. What should you do if you're involved in a car accident? You should first make sure that everyone involved is okay and call for emergency services if necessary. Then exchange insurance and contact information with the other drivers involved. To document the accident by taking pictures or writing down is very, very important. What is the purpose of a driver's license? A driver's license is a legal document that allows you to operate a motor vehicle on public roads. It means that you have passed your driving test and you're able to drive safely. What should you do if you're pulled over by a police officer? You should pull over to a safe location, turn off your engine, and remain calm and respectful. Provide the officer with your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance when asked, and followed any instructions or requests they give you. What is the importance of wearing a seatbelt? Wearing a seatbelt can significantly reduce your risk of injury or death in the event of a car accident. It helps prevent you from being thrown off the vehicle or colliding with the interior of other passengers. What should you do if you're driving and feel drowsy or fatigued? You should pull over to a safe location and take a break or a nap, or switch drivers if possible. Driving while drowsy or fatigued can be dangerous and increase your risk of getting into an accident. What is the meaning of a red traffic signal? A red traffic signal indicates that you must come to a complete stop and remain stopped until the turn signal turns green. So, what is the legal blood alcohol concentration or BAC limit for drivers in most states? The legal BAC limit for drivers in most states is 0.08%. What should you do if you miss your exit on the highway? You should continue driving on the next exit and turn around or take an alternate route. Do not try to reverse or make sudden turns to try to reach the missed exit. What is the purpose of a turn signal? A turn signal indicates to other drivers your intention to turn or change lanes and helps to ensure safe and predictable driving behavior. What should you do if you encounter an aggressive driver on the road? You should avoid engaging with the aggressive driver, maintain a safe distance, and report their behavior to law enforcement if necessary. What is the maximum speed limit in most residential areas? The most that you can go in residential areas would be 25 miles per hour. What is the purpose of a crosswalk? A crosswalk is a designated area for pedestrians to cross the road safely, and drivers must yield to pedestrians in crosswalks. What should you do if your vehicle starts to skid on a slippery road? You should steer into the skid, take your foot off the gas, and gently apply the brakes. Do not make any sudden movements or overcorrect the steering. What is the purpose of a yield sign? A yield sign indicates that drivers must give the right of way to other vehicles or pedestrians and only proceed when it is safe to do so. What should you do if you're driving and a tire blows out? You should hold the steering wheel firmly, slow down gradually, and pull over to a safe location as soon as possible. Do not brake suddenly or turn sharply, and avoid stopping in the middle of the road. What is the purpose of an HOV, high occupancy vehicle lane? A HOV lane is a lane on the highway that is reserved for vehicles with a certain number of occupants, typically 2 or more. The purpose is to encourage carpooling and reduce congestion. What should you do if you're driving and the road is flooded? You should turn around and find an alternative route. It's dangerous to attempt to drive through flooded areas as the depth of the water can be deceiving and cause your vehicle to become stuck or swept away. What is the purpose of a roundabout? So a roundabout is a circular intersection designed to improve traffic flow and reduce accidents. Drivers must yield to traffic already in the roundabout and proceed in a counterclockwise direction. What should you do if you encounter a school bus with flashing red lights? You must always stop at least 20 feet from the school bus and remain stopped until the red light stops flashing and the stop arm is retracted. This is to ensure the safety of children boarding or exiting the bus. What should you do if you see emergency vehicles with license sirens on? You should pull over to the right side of the road and come to a complete stop. Do not block the intersection or follow emergency vehicles too closely. Now, what is the purpose of a speed limit? So the purpose of a speed limit is to ensure the safety of all drivers and pedestrians on the road. It sets a maximum speed that is safe for the road conditions and helps reduce the risk of accidents. What should you do if you encounter a bicyclist on the road? You should give them plenty of room when passing, at least 3 feet if possible. And be patient and caution. Bicyclists have the same rights and responsibility as drivers, and it's important to share the road safely. Now, what is the purpose of a carpool lane? Now, this question is very similar to the one that I asked a few seconds ago or minute. But let's go again and see if you remember. A carpool lane, also known as a high occupancy vehicle, HOV lane. So it's reserved for vehicles with multiple occupants, typically 2 or more. So the purpose is to encourage carpooling and reduce congestion. So what should you do if your brakes fail while driving? Yikes. So you should first try to downshift to a lower gear and use the engine to slow down. Then use the emergency brake or parking brake to slow the vehicle down further and look for a safe place to pull over and stop. So what is the purpose of a blind spot? A blind spot is an area around your vehicle that you cannot see in your mirrors. It's important to check your blind spot before changing lanes or making turns to ensure there are no other vehicles or pedestrians in your path. What should you do if you're involved in a minor accident with no injuries? You should move your vehicle to a safe location, exchange information with the other driver, and report the accident to the police if necessary. What is the purpose of a speed bump? A speed bump is a raised area of pavement that forces drivers to slow down. They are often used in parking lots and school zones and other areas where traffic speed needs to be reduced for safety purposes. I'm sure you guys have all encountered this. They can be quite annoying, but they're very, very useful, and it's for safety purposes. So what should you do if your vehicle starts to overheat? Okay, so you should pull over to a safe location in this case and turn off the engine. Allow the engine to cool down before checking the coolant level and adding more if is necessary. What is the purpose of a traffic circle? So a traffic circle is also known as a roundabout, which we spoke as well a few minutes earlier. It's a circular intersection, if you remember, designed to improve traffic flow and reduce accidents. So drivers must yield to traffic already in the roundabout and then proceed in a counterclockwise direction. What should you do if you're driving and a warning light appears on the dashboard? So you should pull over to a safe location as soon as possible and consult your owner's manual or a mechanic to determine the cost of this warning light. What is the purpose of a pedestrian signal? Pedestrian signal indicates when it is safe for pedestrians to cross the road, and drivers must always yield to pedestrian when the signal is active. What should you do if you're driving and a tire blows out on the highway? You should hold the steering wheel firmly and try to maintain your speed and direction while gradually trying to slow down, pulling over to a safe location. Remember, you always have your emergency brakes. Your emergency brake you could find in the middle of your car. So, what is the purpose of a shoulder on the side of the road? The shoulder is a designated area on the side of the road that provides space for emergency stopping, breakdowns, and other situations that require a vehicle to pull over safely. What should you do if you're driving and your accelerator pedal gets stuck? You should shift into neutral, use the brakes to slow down, and pull over to a safe location as soon as possible. What is the purpose of a yield sign? Again, a yield sign indicates that you must give the right of way to other vehicles or pedestrians. You must slow down or stop if necessary to ensure the safety of others. What should you do if you are driving and your vehicle starts to hydroplane? You should take your foot off the accelerator and steer in the direction that you want to go. Avoid sudden movements or braking, as this can cause you to lose control. So, what is the purpose of a passing lane? A passing lane, also known as an overtaking lane, is a lane on a highway designed for vehicles to pass slower moving vehicles in the adjacent lanes. What should you do if you're driving and a tire blows out on a busy street? So you should steer the vehicle to a safe location away from traffic and turn on your hazard lights. Use your spare tire or call for assistance if you need so. What is the purpose of a merge lane? So a merge lane is a short lane on a highway designed for vehicles to merge safely into traffic. Drivers must yield to vehicles already in that lane and merge when it is safe to do so. What should you do if you're driving and the road is icy? You should reduce your speed, increase the distance between you and the other vehicles, and avoid sudden movements or braking. What is the purpose of a crosswalk? A crosswalk is a designated area for pedestrians. We've discussed this already. It's when pedestrians feel is safe to cross the road, and drivers must always yield to the pedestrians within the crosswalk. What should you do if you're driving and your headlights just stop working? You should pull over to a safe location as soon as possible and use your hazard lights or turn signals to indicate your presence on the road. What is the purpose of a one-way street? A one-way street is designed for traffic to flow in one direction only, which can help to improve traffic flow and reduce congestion. What should you do if you're driving and your windshield wipers stop working in heavy rain? You should slow down, increase the distance between you and other vehicles, and pull over to a safe location if necessary. And guys, with that being said, this is the end of part 1, composed of 50 questions for your DMV exam that hopefully is going to be of great help for those of you who are going to take that exam. Part 2 is coming out real soon, so make sure that you guys again have that notification bell on and you're subscribed to the channel so you get that notification and you're able to see part 2, which is going to be another 50 questions. So in total we're going to be having 100 questions that if you guys study and listen to, I promise you that you will pass that DMV exam. Obviously you guys have to do your own work, which means, hey, practice out driving with somebody who's responsible, and look at the other videos from our channel, which is like driving tutorials that give you examples so you can see how things work. And guys, if you do all of this, you'll be more than ready and you should be able to ace that exam. So best of luck to you, and I will see you on the next one.